What's up, Solicited Nation? It's your girl Nikki, and I'm back with another Unsolicited Truth Reaction. Hello if you're new, welcome back if you're not. If you enjoyed the content, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below so we can keep this party going. And please, guys, continue to watch the ads because it really does help me to continue to do this for you full time. Now, before I get into this reaction, let me give a disclaimer. One, I'm going to always be neutral, which means that if I see fault on any side, I'm going to call it out. That's just the way I'm built. I don't pick sides. I don't go by who's most popular or who's least popular or any of that. I don't bash just because people are bashing, and I don't support just because people are supporting, right? So I am drawing my own conclusions and my own opinions. Another disclaimer that I must say is that I'm very familiar with this situation. And what I mean by that is I'm not new to Queen and Clarence. I know that when y'all come on my page, y'all normally see and mostly see Easy X Natalie, but I love Queen and Clarence. I watch Queen, and specifically Queen. I have watched Queen since she was with Chris, okay? I tuned into their videos. I remember when she went to the tap house and all of that. Like, I know I'm pretty well versed on Queen's history. You know what I'm saying? I've watched her grow from being from the red couch to medicine and the divorce to New York and, you know, onward and forward. You know what I mean? Her record deal, her and then, you know, her music deal and everything like that. So with that being said, before I give my opinions on this, this is not me solely reacting to what I'm hearing in these videos. So if you wonder why I'm expounding or why I'm saying this or why I'm saying that, understand that I am not new to this. I'm true to this. I have been very aware of the tension in their relationship, in the relationship with her family, very much since New York, basically, since the whole thing with Clarence even started, right? So there's always been a bit of contention there, right? And so I say that to say, I know that we may not all agree. A lot of you may not agree with what I say. A lot of you may agree with what I say. I'm not turning my comments off because I don't believe in that. I believe in allowing everybody to express themselves and express their opinions. But y'all know me and y'all know my channel. Everything I do out of what? Love, light, and laughter. That's what I always say. Love, light, and laughter, okay? If you are not here for that, I get it, but don't think that you can come on this platform and you can't come to my channel at least and you know, spew hate and everything like that. If you don't like something that somebody says, you guys need to in the comments below have a mature conversation about it. Don't start bashing, don't start calling names, don't start, you know, being ignorant, you know, on behalf of people who don't even know that you exist. All right, cool. Now, with those disclaimers out of the way, I am going to go ahead and react to this whole situation with Queen and her sister and Clarence and Chris and baby CJ's graduation, because at this point that just seems like it was the straw that broke the camel's back, but it wasn't the actual camel. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the straw that broke the camel's back. That wasn't the actual camel. So with that being said, I ain't gonna hold this up. Clarence asked, so I responded. Oh, and I have to say this. I watched Clarence's 54-minute reaction to Tina's first video. So I feel like, and I mean the first of this series, since the CJ graduation thing, I feel like that was like basically 2 videos in one. And so this is basically 3 videos in one, because this is her reacting to Clarence reacting to what she said, you know. So he asked questions in that. I remember the questions that he asked. He asked some questions in his video, and it seems like she said, Clarence asked, so I responded. So she's gonna have the answers. So with that being said, let's get straight to the video.
So you already know what's going on.
Yep.
What's up, y'all? It's good to have y'all back. I know it's good to have me back. Y'all know by the title of the video, y'all know what I'm reacting to. So before I get into this video, give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe.
Same. Do that to me. Do that for me.
Hit the bell. Hit the bell. Let's get into the video.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Clarence NYC. Welcome back to my reaction channel.
What up, Clarence?
Man, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
And then how he said it's beast. His thumbnail is beast. Why he his thumbnail is bees.
Show some love by leaving a comment and smashing that like button on this video, man. Greatly appreciate it. Right now I feel pretty good, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, make sure y'all go show love and support to this video and hit that subscribe button. But do the same for me too, though.
Shout out to Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Diddy's coming out with a new Ciroc, and he had a Ciroc truck pull up at the crib, and basically,
I kind of knew by the video, you know. I kind of knew, like, telling by it, like his eyes was low and stuff. He drunk, so that lets me know that he had to be, you know, at a good mode to be on my level. But y'all,
is that what it was? Is that what it was, or was it the timing of when you dropped your video and he happened to already be drinking, and then he saw the video and he said, "Well, shit, let me respond to this"? Because I feel like that was more likely the situation, rather than he saw your video and then he went and he drank himself into a stupor, and then he got on here and then he was like, okay, now I'm gonna react, now I can do this, I can handle it now. Like, I don't think he was emotionally distraught over what she said. I think that she released her video. He happened to have already been drinking that day. And so when her video came out and he saw her video out and he saw that it was addressing him, or, you know, or yeah, he saw the video was addressing him, then he reacted to it. I feel like that's a pretty simple assumption of a scenario. You know what I mean? I feel like I don't think it was that dramatic, you know?
I know recently I told y'all I stopped smoking, I stopped doing this and that. I'm sober right now, just to let y'all know. I got the buffs on, the white sticks, you know.
Just let us try to look at it. Just gave us gifts and shit. It was fine. It was tough. But now I gotta get back to work. So let's do this.
Yeah, because I ain't saying you did nothing.
Tina dropped a video named "All Right, Let's Do This." So we about to get into it. And
I have a question real quick before I get too deep into this. How old is Tina? Anybody know how old? Well, I can't find that shit. No way. Yeah, okay. So this says that she's 20 years old. Okay. So she's 20 years old. I'm trying to figure out how does Tina make money? Like I heard her say, because you don't do nothing. Is Tina in school? Is she in college? I don't know. Y'all tell me. I just want to know. To be fair, you know what I mean? Like, I see, here's the thing. There seems to be a lot of hypocrisy in the sense that, and I'm not talking about this specific situation. I'm talking about just in general, y'all. Like, there seems to be just a bunch of hypocrisy these days where people will literally call somebody out for the same shit that they're doing or not doing themselves. Okay, let me let her finish. I had to say that. I don't understand. She's like, well, yeah, because you don't do nothing. Well, I mean, baby, what do you do? Are you in school? Are you working on a career? Or are you making your money through YouTube as well? Because that could be perceived as you not doing anything. You know what I'm saying? I know people that look at me and be like, you make YouTube videos for a living? I was like, well, I'm also a published author, but yes, I do. I make YouTube videos for a living. And they're like, you know, people reduce it or minimize it to being like a hobby or something like that. It's like, no, I make money off of it. And if that's what she does, then that's the same thing Clarence does. Why would she consider that nothing? Does she think that she's doing nothing? You see what I'm saying? That's the logic that I'm using. That's the logic behind why I was like, I don't understand why she made that statement.
Do this, you know what I'm saying? I already know everything that's going on with CJ's graduation, so let's get right into it. It's not even wasting any time. Let's do it.
I mean, you've been talking crap this long. You've been Twitter fingering this long. How to spend. Hello, new subscribers. Let's get straight into the video. As y'all can see by the title, I'm reacting. Basically, this is gonna be a reaction / getting off.
Since when did Tina get a reaction channel? Someone comment that in the comment section.
I'm gonna answer your question for you, Clarence.
Hold on. Isn't the name of the channel TNT Reacts? Let me see. Oh no, it's TNT Squad. Okay, it's TNT Squad. I thought it was but didn't her, and I don't know, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, didn't her and her brother, they used to do like reactions like way back in the day? Like when they first started their channel? Like I don't know, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't feel like it's new. Because I get what he's trying to imply. Like he's basically trying to imply, oh, when did she get, when did she get a reaction channel? All of a sudden she's doing reactions. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's what it was. Again, I think too deep. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know me. I told y'all I'm Switzerland, bro. I'm going to play it on both sides. If I see something, I'm going to call it out on all sides. I feel like he was being obviously very passive aggressive there, trying to imply or insinuate that she's copying him. He has a reaction channel, so now all of a sudden she wants to do reaction, but she's only reacting to what is being said about her, and I think that that's fair.
I don't want you, have to get it from, the fan, so just get it from the horse's mouth and listen carefully. I have a reaction channel. Well, basically, I'm doing reactions now because I'm defending my family.
That's
Queen
fair.
made it clear that she wasn't a part of this family. So when I'm talking about family, I'm talking about my mom and my brother.
She didn't need to add that.
What's on my chest? Because it seems like everybody can do that lately.
She didn't need to add that.
But when it comes to me, I have to watch what I say and be quiet. You shouldn't have said this. You shouldn't have said that. No, no more, honey. No.
But here's my question. Who told her that she couldn't speak her piece? Who told her she couldn't speak her mind? I think that she's confusing, or this is my thing. Maybe what she means to say is that Queen can speak freely without perhaps getting bashed the way that Tina feels that she's getting bashed. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's how she feels. Maybe she feels like, well, every time I speak, somebody's knocking me over my head or they're bashing me on the internet. But when you speak, majority of the crowd is with you and they're rooting for you and then they come back over here and they bash me. So maybe that's what she means. If that's what she means, then that's fair. She's allowed and entitled, obviously, to feel that way. But nobody is like actually silencing Tina. Like nobody's sending her cease and desist letters. Nobody's telling her that, nobody's getting her videos taken down. Nobody's telling her or reporting her Instagram or anything like that. Like she has her Twitter, like she has all her platforms to speak her mind and voice herself and voice her opinion. I think that those restraints that she's putting, those restraints that she's feeling, she's putting on herself. They're self-inflicted. Queen and nobody else has control over her to say what she wants to say and voice how she wants to voice. Those restraints that are on her, she put on herself. You can speak whatever you want to speak. You just can't be so concerned with what the people look. The moment you put it out in the court of public opinion, people are going to say what the fuck they're going to say. They're going to feel what the fuck they're going to feel. And that's just what it is. And we got to learn, when you become a public figure, whether voluntarily or not, you know what I'm saying? If you get exposed to the public and then you gain a following of some sort, which she has, they got like 30,000 subscribers, then, at this point, yeah, everything you say, unfortunately, it gets scrutinized. You got to develop some tougher skin and just be like, fuck it. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. I'm going to say what I got to say. And then that's just what it's going to be. And that's why my channel is called The Unsolicited Truth. It's unsolicited. You know what that means? When people come and be like, did nobody ask you? I'll be like, I know. That's the whole point. I know you didn't ask me. You did not come to me and ask my opinion. I am giving it free of charge. Unsolicited. Okay? All right, cool. So I think that Tina, there's a lot of blame that I think a lot of people, almost everybody in this situation, though, is looking for someone outside of themselves to blame, when the truth of the matter is it all still falls on us. Like every choice we make, every, decision or road or path that we take, all of that, that's all on us. It's all on us. It's nobody else's fault. Nobody's restraining you. Nobody's telling you to be quiet. Nobody is physically telling you to shut up. Nobody's physically shutting you up. Therefore, you can speak whatever you want to speak. You're the one putting the restraints on yourself, sweetie.
Queen Naja shared some pictures and videos of CJ's graduation.
I'm gonna try not to stop it, y'all.
First grade, and according to
I'm gonna stop it. Y'all know how I'm doing.
Of the graduation. Somebody commented, so you ain't go to CJ's graduation, and he responded, didn't get an invitation, and also didn't even know he was graduating today. That's messed up. And then he posted out, proud of my baby, even though daddy wasn't told you was graduating.
Okay, so here's the thing. I have the luxury of, and I say luxury, I mean this. I have the luxury and the benefit of being an only girl, right? So that means that I only have brothers. And two of my brothers, my oldest, and then like my the one that's closest to me in age, the middle, I guess my middle brother, they have children. They have 5 children between them. One has 4, but they have 5 children between them. And I have to say this, you know, I've watched my oldest brother kind of go through some things. You know what I'm saying? Like, we always talk about the baby mama side of things, you know, and deadbeat dads, and how dads are not there, and dads are not, and don't get it twisted, I am a victim of the single family. Well, I'm not gonna say victim, but I am a product of the single family mother home, of the single mother family, of the single mother home. Father, my relationship with my father was completely non-existent. We reconnected. We fell up, like, we basically lost contact at, like, when I was like 9. We got reacquainted very shortly, for a very brief time, in like my mid-20s. You know what I'm saying? And then that was it. That was it. We communicated for a few months, and then that was it. But it was a good time but it gave me closure. I say all that to say, my mother never did anything. And my mother was definitely not one of them. She didn't put nobody on child support. She didn't ask them for anything. She wasn't seeking help from him or anything like that. My mother wasn't built like that. She did it all on her own. She never kept me from him, right? But he never reached out. That's how that when, and my mother made, you know, efforts to try to keep me in contact with my dad's side of the family. But it's like, when he didn't care to put the effort into it, it's almost like they didn't care to put the effort into it. And so we just completely, like, I like dead. It's like that whole relationship, that whole side of my family just deaded. You know what I'm saying? And I've watched my brother go through a lot, my oldest brother especially, go through a lot, you know, in dealing with the mother of his child. And I will say this, my brother, if my nephew was enrolled in a school 3,000 miles away from him across the country, first of all, he wouldn't do that, because he gonna follow his son everywhere he go. That's just the way he built. And I get Chris's situation. Chris is on probation or something, and so he can't leave Houston. I know that because of an arrest that he got, you know, either a year or 2 ago. And so I get that. But how do you not know that information? How do you not know? Like, how do you not have that information? Like, my brother would know the school. He would know everything. Like Clarence said, the school, the teacher, put my name on the email list. Like, I want, like, even if I'm not there, when you talk to my son's mother or my daughter's mother about whatever's going on, you contact me too. I want to be on the email thread. I want to know what's going on. Like, if you care, then you invest the time, you invest the effort. And I feel like Chris used this opportunity, because if he was thinking about it, why did he wait until somebody else? Why did he wait until somebody else mentioned something about it and then he posted about it? You know what I mean? I just feel like, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong about that, about the arrangement of that, but that's the way it looked to me. The way it appeared is that somebody asked him about it, and then he made that comment, well, I didn't even know he was graduating, blah, 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 and then he made that story post. That's the way that it played out in my mind, or in my timeline. So I feel like he used that as an opportunity to play victim. You know what I mean? And it turned into something that it didn't even need to be, because he said all that, and he kind of, you know, started this fire, and Tina kind of jumped on the bandwagon, if I'm being honest. And then he don't care anymore. He off it. He's off it. You know, or he handled it offline, which is how it should have been handled in the first place, right? And then now you just have Tina and Clarence and Queen in whatever this is, which to be honest, I honestly think that the CJ graduation thing was an excuse for them to really get into this. I think that because everything, if you pay attention to what they're talking about, especially going back to Clarence's video, if y'all haven't watched Clarence's reaction to Tina's reaction, or to Tina's video, her first video about all of this, y'all need to go watch that before you watch this. You know what I mean? Because the way that look, there's a lot that happened and is continuously happening behind the scenes. And I don't think that this was all just over some kindergarten graduation. These are things that on both sides, everybody on all sides, because it's more than two sides, everyone has wanted to say these things and they haven't. And now it's just like, it feels like they feel like the levees have broken, you know what I'm saying? And they're just like letting this shit flow. They're gonna tell all of it.
And Tina,
I just felt like you knew that he was graduating a week ago. You knew he was graduating 2 weeks ago. Why wasn't nobody notified? Everybody knows how we are with CJ. Everybody knows how CJ is with us.
Can I speak from I'm gonna be stopping this a lot. Wait, let me let her talk. Is she about to say something? Oh no, I remember this part. This is Clarence. He about to say something. Okay, so here's my thing. I'm an auntie. I'm going to speak from the perspective of an auntie. And when I say I'm an auntie, I mean like I am an auntie. I have five biological nieces and nephews, okay? 4 from my baby brother, 1 from my oldest brother. And then I have 6 godchildren. I have 6 godchildren, okay? So I understand what it's like to fall in love with somebody else's kids. I'm surrounded by all these children that I love. And I mean, I love like they're my own, like I carried them in my own womb, right? I love them that much. But I still understand that there is a line that I cannot and shall not ever cross out of respect for the parents involved, right? There's a lot of things that I may not agree with, like that my brothers, sons' mothers may do or whatever the case may be, or even that my brothers may do with their children, right? But I've learned a long time ago that when you do not have kids, and even if you have kids, it's not your prerogative to speak on how somebody else is raising their child unless you have seen with your own eyes, not assumed, seen with your own eyes, physical abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse. Unless you have seen the abuse yourself, you don't have the right to step in and say anything based on assumptions. Okay? I learned a long time ago not to speak on the mother of my brother's children, or on the way my brothers raised their kids. I learned that a long time ago because that is not, bro, there is so much disrespect in trying to tell somebody else how to raise the child that they birthed and they provided life to. You see what I'm saying? And Tina has a very possessive relationship when it comes to CJ. And I get it. She's overprotective. He was her first nephew, and she has this bond with him. And when he was born, she was a teenager. So she really, I get it. Like, she loves CJ, and I know CJ loves her. I don't think that anybody is questioning Tina's love for CJ, but I will say that out of her immaturity, she is overstepping a lot of boundaries. Whether that's your sister or not, whether you love him or not, whether you would lay your life down for him or not, that is still not your child. And the fact that you feel that you have the right to speak on it, you do have the right to provide an opinion. But my God, not in public, bro. Not in public. Not about family shit. I don't care. Me and my brothers right now could be beefing. Like, I mean, I could hate him. He could hate me. Like, any one of them, we could have just either one of them, we could just got into a physical fight, whatever. Y'all would never know. You would never know. I could be beefing with my mom. We done fell out. Whoever, my best friend, everybody, you would never know. I could be married. You would never know. I could be divorced. You would never know. You know why? Because it's none of your damn business. Like, it's none of your business. It's none of your business. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I just mean literally, it's none of your business. That's my business. And how much of that I choose to reveal, that's up to me. How much access Queen allows Tina to have to CJ, that's on Queen. Tina may not like it. Like, I may want to see my nephew more, and I may want to see my nieces more. But guess what? If their parents don't want me to see them, or we have a falling out or whatever the case may be, like, I don't expect I don't know. I guess I'm just built different, and maybe it's just a generational thing. You know what I'm saying? I just think it's a maturity thing. I think that as Tina grows, she's gonna look back on some of the things that she said and maybe some of the things that she did, and she's gonna realize that she overstepped her bounds. Because that's what I had to do. You know, when I was younger, I was very hot-headed and very overprotective of my nieces and my nephews, and I accused their parents and other family members of a lot of different things. You know, based out of my own trauma and based out of my own assumptions about the situation. But the truth of the matter was, I'm not any of their mother. I'm not any of their parent, and I don't have rights to them that violate or impede upon their parents' rights on them. So I just, like I said, I'm gonna be stopping this a lot. These little videos. That's why I'm breaking it down in parts just the same way she did, because I'm gonna be talking a lot. I'm just keeping it 100. But I just think that that part right there in particular, I just think that she just. I just don't understand where she feels that she has the rights to CJ that she seems to think that she has. That's my thing. And I'm speaking from an auntie, from her perspective. I get it. I mean, like I said, I'm deeply in love with all of my nieces and nephews, but there's certain lines that I don't cross, and there's certain things that I won't call their parents out for publicly or privately, even, because I know that that's just, they're figuring that out. They have to parent that child. You know what I'm saying? And that child has to develop a trusting relationship with their parents. So that ain't got nothing to do with me. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
No, I don't. Like, be patient with me, y'all, because I'm trying to, this is all coming at me really fast, you know what I'm saying? But no, I don't know how you are with Cedar. I don't know how Chris is. No, I do know. Well, I do know I'm being, like, sarcastic, but
I know you're being sarcastic. It's okay. I understand. I would, too, if I was in your position. You keep looking over to the right and the left. It seems to me like you're being coached, but...
I can tell she don't. He's not. He does that in all his videos.
I just want to start off with this. I want you.
He does that in all his videos.
I want your mom. I want Chris. I want all y'all. Everybody I felt like they should have been through graduation, right? I want y'all to answer these questions. What school does CJ go to?
All right, now go ahead.
And Chris, you don't say that because you just wrote Queen and asked her. After he's been there for 2 years. This is his second year at the school, and you're asking what school he goes to. What school does he go to? What's his teacher's name? What's the name of his best friend at his school that he's been at for 2 years? Chris, you know how much his tuition is? Take a guess, because I know you don't know, because you had not nowhere near. You're not even involved. You don't even.
Okay, he's talking about Chris at that part. But to answer your question, as well, what we know, or what we knew, because Queen doesn't talk to us anymore, CJ didn't go to public school because it was a pandemic. He's homeschooled. That's what we know. CJ was homeschooled. His teacher name is Mr. Unsolicited, because I remember CJ telling me how he would make fun of him of his double chin because of how fat he was. I'm not dogging his teacher out, but that's what CJ told me. He was homeschooled. But okay.
No idea.
And by the way, his best friend, the one that he play with, as far as we know, his name's Joe. He always talks about him.
Okay. Now, first of all, I ain't gonna hold you. That's impressive as hell, because Tina's way more invested in her nephew's life than I am in my nieces and nephews. I'm telling you right now, I could tell you what school Azariah and Mariah and them go to. Somebody, you put a gun to my head, bro, you just gonna blow my brains out, because I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you what their teachers' names are, but I can tell you what their current academic statuses are. I can tell you what their future academic goals and aspirations are. I can tell you what I know what their current. I know that much, but I don't know the specifics like that. I don't know who their best friends are, but I know what they don't got is boyfriends and girlfriends right now, because I say it so. So I know I have communication with my nieces and nephews, but I feel like now in regards to Chris, the father, he 100% should know all the answers to those questions. But not for nothing, as the auntie or even as the grandma, I don't feel like I need to be required to know that information for me to prove that I'm invested in my niece or my nephew. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. I don't think that, you know, Tina and them have to know what school and all this other stuff. I think, again, and I get what Clarence is doing and what he's saying, because he knows it's very much not about CJ's graduation as well, which is why he's harping on this so much. It's almost like reverse psychology. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's basically being like, oh, well, if you cared about the graduation so much, then why don't you know this? And why don't you know this? And why won't you that? And I get what he's saying. And why he's doing that, because he's like, it's not about the graduation. You know, this is deeper than that, and it's a lot more to it. So let's just be honest about the situation. I don't think that should be a slight against Tina, because first of all, she did know the information. I for sure, like I said, sure as hell wouldn't know that information about my nieces and nephews, any of them. And so I think that shouldn't be a slight against Tina if she did know that information. Now Chris should know that.
His name's Joe.
But that's impressive as hell, because I sure as hell
want to know that. What does book bag look like? What's the little mascot for the school?
Now, with the book bag and stuff, you know that.
Right.
You there with them 24/7.
Right, exactly.
I'm not going to play this 21 questions game with you.
And that's fair. And that's fair. Because she know he being petty. And I feel that, like, that's very fair. Like, she is right. Like, I don't have to know those little details. You know what I'm saying? But I communicate with my nieces and my nephews. I talk to them. So, like, the information that I do gather from them, I hold that information. I retain that information. But no, I don't need to know the details. I don't need to know what his favorite backpack is. Like, that's ridiculous. Come on now. That doesn't mean I'm not invested in him. It just means that I'm not there every day to know those small, minute details about him. But I know about my babies now.
What school what's his mascot?
I get what she's saying.
He was online school, Clarence.
She knew.
The book bag is not important.
It's not.
Because everybody know that you're around him.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Since y'all so invested, and y'all feel so entitled, answer these questions, y'all.
I just did.
She did. Is he
Name
stuck?
some fears of CJ. Name some fears CJ has. Name some likes.
For one of CJ fears are him being scared of the dark.
Mm-hmm.
He's scared of losing connection to his daddy.
Okay, well, how would you know
He's scared of losing connection to his nanny.
He told you that?
But you knew that.
Now, did CJ tell you that, or now are you using CJ? Are you trying to weaponize CJ's emotions against Clarence? Like, are you trying to act like you know? Like, come on now. Now, I know my nieces and my nieces and my nephews' likes and dislikes. You know, like, I know what they're into and what they're not into. I know what they, you know, when you get to know somebody and you buy gifts for them and you have conversations with them, I feel like those are natural things that will come about. Like, so I feel like those are pretty easy questions for any of them for Tina to answer, because I know that those questions right there in particular were directed at Tina more likely, because obviously I think that Chris would know, or hopefully Chris would know what CJ's likes and dislikes and fears are.
That's why he's around your family, and you really don't like him like that, Clarence.
That's not fair. I don't think that she can make that assumption.
What Queen just called us 2 months prior back, he was standing in the middle of the hallway crying, using the restroom on himself. Because he was depressed. And you yelled at him and told him to go back to bed.
Now, that's the kind of stuff, I mean, should never come to the internet. That's the kind of stuff that the stuff that she's revealing is, bro, like, that's not okay. And not because, you know, we don't want you to expose Queen or expose Clarence. I don't give a shit about that. But because of for the sake of your sister and your nephew's mental health and stability, why would you put stuff like that out there, knowing the way this internet is built, knowing the way this internet is set up? You know how people are. They gnaw at shit like that. And they purposely use it against somebody, and they weaponize it against somebody. Let me tell you something. This is how I feel, and this is God's honest truth. This is the overall feeling that I have about all of this. The way that it was brought to the internet, right? And I think everybody knows very clearly that this was brought to the internet this was started by Chris's response to that little, wow, you're not going into the graduation or whatever. It was started by that. And then it was egged on by Tina posting something about the baby's graduation and not being invited. And then it's like Queen just snapped. Like, am I wrong? Is that not the sequence of events? Because I feel like that was the sequence of events. So with that being said, I feel like, you know, Tina spoke out of turn, and she spoke when she didn't need to. If she felt some type of way about this, she got Queen's number and she goes, oh, well, Queen, don't talk to me. It doesn't mean that you can't talk back, but you could at least, you can say what you need to say. You can get what you need to get out. You know what I'm saying? Shit, take it old school, write a fucking letter. Like, I don't care. Like, I think that there's so many other ways that they could have tried to communicate how they felt, if they felt like they were being left, if Tina felt like she was being left out and she was being neglected as far as like, you know, experiences in CJ's life and stuff like that. She felt like she was just being, you know, ostracized, and then she had a right to speak up and express that. But bro, on the internet, here's the only reason why you would bring it to the internet. The only reason why you would bring it to the internet is because you want that person to be attacked. And I don't care. People are like, no, she might have brought it to the internet because she felt like that was the only way Queen would see it, because Queen not reading her messages, she not answering her calls, so she knew Queen was gonna see this if it was being thrown at her DMs and thrown at her. Here's my thing. If you are my sister, and the only way that I can communicate with you is through the internet, then I'm not going to communicate with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. So again, even when y'all use that excuse, well, she felt like this was the only way that Queen could see it. But if y'all are already on the outs, she didn't bring it to the internet like, she didn't bring it to the internet in a respectful way. She brought it to the internet in an accusatory way. Tina brought it to the internet in a way to be like, yeah, I was slighted too. You know what I'm saying? I guess basically just being like, I guess we ain't shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, come on, man. Like, I doubt that Queen was deliberately thinking that about Chris or Tina or anybody that wasn't physically there at CJ's graduation. Like she said, she's like, it was a 20-minute graduation. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. And I know that sounds like, you're like, well, damn, he graduated from kindergarten. You should think it's a big deal. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody, especially because it was during it's a pandemic. Chris can't come out. She knows Tina and them not gonna come and not gonna fly out there. So what's the point, bro? Like it's all for naught. You did not have to bring it to the internet. The fact that you brought it to the internet and you feel like you getting bashed, or now Queen getting bashed and Clarence getting bashed, everybody getting bashed, and everybody, it's like, bro, it's so redundant and it's so exhausting, bro. It's like, it's exhausting. It's like, why? It's insanity. Y'all keep doing this shit, bringing your shit to the internet, and then when it don't pan out the way that you wanted to pan out, you go back into reclusion. You know what I'm saying? And then, son, you wait for something else to happen, and you come out and you use the same tactic and the same strategy, and you get attacked and thrown and shoved back into the dark and back into the shadows all over again. I don't get it, bro. Like, it don't make sense. It don't register to me.
Lucky I wasn't there, because it wouldn't have happened.
Wait, what? Oh.
Lucky I wasn't there, because it wouldn't have happened.
Right now.
So you would have. So my question is, what would you have done to prevent it from happening? Would you have tried to then physically assault his mother and his for all intents and purposes his stepfather in front of CJ? Because that wouldn't have been traumatizing either, right? To watch his aunt and his mom, or his aunt and his Claire Bear fight each other, like physically fight each other. That wouldn't have been traumatizing at all, right? Come on, man. Like, what would you have done, Tina? What could you have done? And the thing about it is, that's a pretty bold ass story to put out without context. We have no idea. What you said that, because are you making the assumption? Were you told that he was depressed? Maybe did he have an accident? What did Clarence think he was playing? Was Clarence sleeping and then he thought it was what's the context? And y'all, there's no excuse. He shouldn't have yelled at a baby who peed on himself. I didn't say, I'm not making an excuse for him. I'm not saying that he should have yelled at him. I'm asking, what's the context? You're throwing a bunch of scenarios out and a bunch of stories out, and we don't have the full details, but you better believe everybody gonna speak on it. Look at what I'm doing. Everybody gonna speak on it. But I'm not gonna speak on things that I don't have full access to or full context for. I can't speak on that situation. If that is what happened and Clarence yelled at that baby because he was depressed and he peed on himself, then you know what? Clarence needs to go. Clarence needs sensitivity training, okay? And Clarence needs to learn to communicate in a more effective way and a less traumatizing way. But again, that's all based on assumption. That's all based on assumption. I have no idea what happened in that situation. And Tina really don't either. It sounds like she's making a lot of assumptions and just throwing them out there as facts, but that's what people do. Putting stories like that out there where we don't have full context and full detail, I think it's unfair to everyone involved, including CJ. And it's a violation of his privacy. It's a violation of Queen's privacy. It's a violation of your privacy because that was obviously something your sister told you in confidence. And all you're proving to her is that she cannot confide in you. Like, come on, man.
These are just little things. Like, if you're so invested, tell me the teacher's name. Tell me what school CJ goes to. All right, bro,
you gotta get off of this. Nobody cares at that point.
All these questions that you're asking, it's reverse psychology. Because
I agree, I said that.
You know that there's been a lack of communication there. You know that. Because that's what you do. You're an emotional abuser. Ooh. You took Queen away from her family and her friends to weaken her.
Oh, wow, an abuser? We're using that word? Oh God, there's so many words that we use so loosely. Me and my best friend had that conversation. For instance, the word narcissist. We use that to describe everyone. And she said, we use that word too much. And I said, that's the more likely possibility. I said, the least likely possibility, but the more scarier version is that most everybody around us is just narcissistic because that's the world that we've become. If you don't have proof or context for that, and couples who argue and somebody goes off crying is not emotional abuse. That's not how, you know what I'm saying? Like, just because you've seen your sister cry because he said something or he may have yelled something at her, that does not mean that he's emotionally abusing her. Men and women process shit differently. Queen is, and we've seen this, Queen is obviously extremely sensitive. And she seems to be, sensitive. Because the word fragile is not the right word. She's sensitive. You know what I mean? So who knows what he could have said or done that could have triggered a reaction in her to make her cry. You know what I'm saying? Like, so she keeps telling, because that was one of the stories that she told in that video with Clarence about her crying at Christmas or something like that. And I'm like, bro, like, but what context do you have? What do you know? What is this all based on assumption? Like, I just need more evidence. I need more evidence.
He took Queen away from her family and her friends to weaken her support system.
How did he do that? Did he lock Queen away in a cage? Because if he didn't lock Queen away in a cage, I feel like here's my thing. I feel like there's a lot of smoke that she's given to Clarence that she really should be directing to her sister. In the sense that if you feel like he took Queen away, then that means that Queen let him. So you need to ask your sister, why did she feel the need to get away from her family? Why did she feel the need to not be around her family? What is going on with y'all's relationship that she felt the need to isolate herself and cut herself off from y'all? Those are the kind of questions you should be asking. And you should be directing those questions to Queen, not Clarence, okay? Because unless Clarence got her under some kind of hypnotic spell and he beating and dragging her ass around the world and taking her from New York to Atlanta and here and there, unless that's what's happening, see, what you're doing is you're putting the onus on Clarence. If Queen was taken, then she had to allow herself to be took. If Queen was taken, she had to allow herself to be took. You see what I'm saying? So if Queen, like I said, if Queen was manipulated away from y'all, if she was seduced away from y'all, she allowed it. It still don't fall on Clarence. People be mad at the wrong folks. You be like, oh, he's preying on her. He's preying on her. She's too weak-minded. She's too weak-minded. Here's my question. What are you going to do about it? There are a lot of people in a lot of, I call them upside down relationships, right? Where one personality is dominating or domineering, not even dominating, domineering over the other. And believe it or not, some people like to submit. I had that conversation with my mom earlier today. Not every woman, here's my thing. They like to put women in two categories. Either we're feminists, like strong, man-hating feminists, or we are docile, submissive, doe-eyed creatures that just bow to the whims of our husbands and our domineering partners. So I think that it's unfair for people to make an assumption and think that because Queen seems to follow Clarence's lead, that it makes her a weak woman. It could just make her a submissive woman, and that is not synonymous with weak, and it's unfair for other women to chastise other women about the way they choose to be a woman. If I want to be a tomboy, that does not take away from any of my femininity, and that's something I had to learn. Femininity is not based on what I wear and how I carry myself. I am feminine. Like, that's just what the fuck it is. Like, I am a woman, okay? And that means that everything that I do is female. Everything that I do is feminine. That's the way I look at femininity. Because I am a woman and I am doing it, it's feminine, boo. So if I want to go mountain biking, that's now feminine. If I want to throw some basketball shorts on, guess what? Now they're feminine. Why? Because I, as a woman, am doing it. And I think that other women, Tina she's judging her sister based on the type of woman she is. Tina is. Tina's like, well, I'm the type of woman where I wouldn't let no man, and I ain't gonna do this, and da. And that's fine for you. And that's good that you're aware of that, and you know that that's the type of woman that you want to be. Not every woman wants that. There are women out there who want to submit themselves to their husband or to their dominating partner, or to the more dominant partner, and they want to be they want to cater to them. They want to, be a stay-at-home mother or whatever the case may be. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, let people be what the fuck they want to be, and stop attacking people because they don't fit the mold that you think they should fit. That is not a submissive woman is not a weak woman, bro. And I'm tired of that. I'm tired of that narrative. Just like a feminist is not always a strong woman. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Y'all got to get off it. It's a fine here, y'all.
That's what you did. So I'm not going to sit up here and play this pity-patty game with you all night.
It's cat, Mo.
That's not her.
Whole bunch of
That's
cat,
not
Mo.
his teeth.
If that's my son, I'm in your situation, I'm going to know the teachers.
Facts.
I'm going to know the number. I got the number.
Facts.
I want my email added.
Facts.
So I could also I could know what he's doing, how's his progress.
Facts.
Same thing. You don't care about that stuff. I do.
Facts.
It's important that he grows up and has an education.
Well, dating a narcissist like you, Clarence, nobody would know anything.
What did I just say about the overuse of that word? There is nothing about Clarence that gives me narcissistic vibes. I think you know who I do get that from? Chris. You know who I do get that from? Tina. I don't mean no harm. I'm not trying to, and I know y'all gonna think, oh, we know you love Queen and Clarence. We know you on their sides. That's not true, because I am very resolute in my opinion of people. And what that means is when somebody does something or has contrary behavior to who I've seen them be predominantly, like who they've portrayed, I'm not going to just flip. I know that's how y'all move. I know that's how the internet moves. It's like, for instance, somebody could be a saint their whole life, right? Somebody bring up a tweet from 2009 about them using a derogatory term, whether it was a gay slur or a racial slur or whatever the case may be. And y'all will rip that person apart as if a motherfucker can't change. A person's past and certain choices and things that they've done, and excuse me, choices that they've made. I think it's so unfair how unforgiving we are as a people. Somebody does something, even if their whole life was good, they do one bad thing and we nail them to the crossroad and we like, I don't care, that's it. You're over. Cancel culture, right? That cancel culture bullshit. Why do we cancel a good person based on one bad choice or one bad mistake? You know what I'm saying? And then people who give us a series of bad behavior, we go, no, they're just trying to figure it out. No, Clarence does not give me narcissistic vibes at all. And I don't even think that Tina is a narcissist, but she has narcissistic traits. You know, she very much thinks that everything is about her. Because here's the thing. People think that somebody who thinks that the world revolves around them, they think that that person is normally like hoity-toity and arrogant and all of that. That's not always necessarily true. A lot of ways that somebody can think that somebody can be a narcissist is also by playing the victim. That's the way Chris does it, in my opinion. His narcissism doesn't come from him being like, oh, y'all just trying to be me. His narcissism comes from, oh, everybody's trying to beat me. So like whenever something happens, just like with that situation with CJ, that was about CJ. He made it about himself. The world revolves around him, even when it should be revolving around his son. And so I feel like Tina does the same thing. But again, like I said, I think that we use that word too much.
I don't even think that you would let them know if it was a baby shower. But, you know, since you're so big on tuition, since you're so big on education, why didn't you pay for Legend to come in this earth?
Maybe he ain't have it.
The OBGYN bills came to our house. Queen paid for him to be born.
Queen had more money.
You didn't. You paid for a $15,000 Rolex. Watch what bills and mail come to our house.
So is she saying that instead of him paying the bill for Legend's birth, he bought a Rolex? Or, because I mean, I know she said that the bill comes to her house, but the bill could be in Queen's name and Clarence is still putting money in the account or still using the credit card. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you can get 2 credit cards. Like, you can have a primary account holder. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that it's fair to just be like, oh, you went and bought a Rollie. Now, if that's what he did, now, if he actually did that, like if he actually had the money to pay for his son's birthday and instead he was like, nah, you pay for it, you just pushed him out. I'm gonna go get this bus down. And I remember when he bought that bus down, then that's a totally different situation. But I just don't feel like that's the way that it happened. Clarence doesn't come across as the type of man who would neglect his fatherly duties or would even want to let Queen take care of something like that. If the bill came to Queen, it's just because it was in her name. What does that have to do with anything? Literally, what does that have to do with anything? I bought my mom a Nordic track for Christmas, right? But I paid it under her account. So everything about it, even though it's my credit card that they charged, everything about it is in her name. So she's not paying it. Just because it's in her name doesn't mean that she paid it. I just, come on, these are petty ass reasons to be trying to get at somebody. Like what are you really mad about? Like, let's get to the root of this. Let's get to the, because right now I feel like they scraping along petty surfaces. Clarence talking about some name, you know, what CJ fun facts and shit. And then Tina sitting here talking about, you got a bust down instead of paying for your baby. Like, I mean, like, these are, you scratching the surface. What's really going on? I want to know what y'all really tight about. Let's talk to me about some real shit.
Because it was out there. Did she pay for your brother's funeral too, Clarence?
Oh,
you ain't put nothing to the table yet.
Yo, that's not okay. Again, you don't know the context. What if she offered to do that out of the goodness of her heart? Y'all know. Wow. See, this is what I mean. Like, there's things that she's revealing and saying that even in my darkest hour of being angry with any of my brothers, I would never reveal shit. Like, there's certain things I could never talk about or bring to light that they've gone through, bro. Like, that's brazy. That's brazy. You don't know why Queen, if Queen was the one that paid for it. And again, if the bill is in her name, it doesn't mean that Clarence didn't put up the money. That's just, and again, that's immaturity and not understanding how life outside of your mama's house works. You see what I'm saying? You got to grow. You got to know, you know what I'm saying, before you let it go. Just be spewing anything and talking anything out your ass.
Can I be real with you tonight, Clarence? Since you got all these questions, what have you brought to the table? Why didn't you pay for Legend to be born? Do you even have Legend of College fund up yet? Oh, I thought so. Part 1, you know, he got on here. He could make a Birkin. I'm going to teach y'all how to make a Dior outfit because I'm not on your level yet. You know, you use Queen's money to the best of your advantage. So, it's going to be a series. And
you know, actually, You know what? I'm gonna say that for part 2. I'm gonna say that for part 2. I am, but that last statement she just made. Now we get into the nitty gritty. Y'all heard that? Listen, we gonna continue this in part 2, but listen to what she just said. Hold on.
Because I'm not on your level yet. You know, you use Queen's money to the best of your advantage.
We are going to continue with part 2. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm looking forward to reading your comments. Like I said before at the beginning of the video, y'all, please keep it respectful. You know what I'm saying? This is a space where we can hopefully have a conversation, a real conversation about, you know, toxicity and codependency in families, and, you know, just like what people expect and don't expect out of relationships and stuff like that. Hopefully this can be a healing conversation for us down in the comments below, you know what I'm saying, and a helpful conversation for us down in the comments below. So if you guys enjoyed this reaction and you are looking forward to the next few reactions following this series, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Don't be afraid to share. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you can be notified every single time I upload. And if you've been here before, then you already know. I gotta hit y'all with the deuces.